Hello, everyone. Happy hump day. We are excited to come to you today in air-conditioned homes because what is it? It was like 36 yesterday. It was 34 here. Where is it? How hot is it in Kelowna?
It's similar, 30, 34, 36. I'm loving it. I
Yeah.
went outside yesterday and I just worked in the backyard. My phone was just like scorching hot. I was like dripping in sweat. My neighbor like leaned over the fence. She's like, "Hey, Allie, how's it going?" I was like, "Good." And she's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm working." She's like, "Are you working?" I'm like, "I am." I just thought I would soak in some sun at the same time. And I was like, just cooling in my sweat.
Oh,
It was great.
yeah, I worked at my friend's pool, which was really lovely. We would like take a dip and then we would get out and work. And she's working on this new course for parents and working with their children with challenging behaviors. So it was like super fun to help her set up a group, and we used our group as kind of like a model. So it was really fun to help a budding entrepreneur. And hey, she might even watch this today. So hello, Nicole, coming
Cool.
later. Taking a dip.
You know what? Whatever way you can soak it in, soak it up. I mean, that's the beauty of when you do have the opportunity to work for yourself, work for yourself.
Yeah, totally. So today we wanted to talk about feedback because it is so important in general. You know, we have different roles in our life, whether, we're a friend or we're a mom or we're a coworker, whatever. Feedback is always going to be an important part of our lives, but especially as leaders, because we not only are going to have feedback, but we should embrace it and ask for it and look for it at any time we can. And then implement it, right? So not just like, oh yeah, thanks, and then like not do anything about it. So today we're going to talk about, the importance of it, how we take in feedback, how you can start to ask for it, and then how to not take it personally and where you should be seeking your feedback, because there's different people out there that are going to give you feedback and it may not be warranted. So we're going to go over that today, and excited to dive into this topic with you today.
Yes. And I will say this is one of the more like terrifying parts of your business because it can feel really scary to build something, mold something, whether you have a product, a service, or yourself as a coach, a mentor, in some capacity, it's always coming back to you. And we feel like we want to protect that. We want to keep it safe. I just made this and I really like it. So then we don't want to open ourselves up for feedback, because what feedback can sound like is criticism.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to be criticized. And I don't want to be criticized either. Neither does Carly, but that's not constructive. Criticism is just mean. That's just mean feedback. Like it's not even feedback. It's just someone being mean. They're just criticizing you. And often that's coming from their own place of insecurity and happiness. And then they're projecting that onto you. So first things first, when you are seeking feedback, make sure that you have a sift and sort mechanism. So like Carly said, you understand where that source is coming from, and is this criticism or is it constructive?
Mm-hmm.
And that's often going to come in how you pose, how you want to elicit feedback. So for Carly and myself, we run our courses. Whenever we finish a course, we want to know how that was for students. So we want to elicit feedback from them, and we use a program. It's called Typeform. Google that, super easy. And you can make surveys, and they're anonymous.
And they're free.
Yeah, it's free. It's super easy to use, but it's anonymous. So that's something that some people like. It's kind of like, when you have like a secret ballot or a comment card, and you just slide her in, because maybe someone wants to give you feedback, but maybe they're nervous to talk to you and they feel a little uncomfortable to share that. So they're like, oh, I would love to tell Allie that she just screams every time she talks to me, but I don't know how to say that to her. It'd be like on a survey, it'd be like, Allie's always screaming. And I'd be like, okay, I'm going to take that in. So having it be anonymous does take off the pressure of the people that you're asking for feedback from until you get into maybe a different space. But that's how Carly and I elicit it. And we love it because it gives someone that opportunity to openly say how they really feel, with also having the mask of, it's not me. I don't have to put myself out there. Carly and Allie, what if they hate me if I tell them that I wish their course was this or that? Or what if they think I'm the worst? So we're not like that. We're not going to do that. So that's why we offer that type of solution in terms of feedback, is the level of anonymity. Second to that, when we build that in, we also then build in for ourselves. We asked for it. we have to be open to receive it.
Mm-hmm.
So Carly and I don't sit on our castle up on the hill like we're perfect. Our courses are perfect. Everything we do is perfect. There's nothing we could possibly do to improve. We ain't doing that. We're sitting down. We're in the crowd. We're with you guys, and we want to be better. We want to improve. We want to grow. We want to create better experiences. Anywhere that we have an opportunity to level up, we're in. And that's where feedback is going to allow us to get to that next level. If we're just always think that we're just perfect and we have a perfect product and everything's just perfect, we never have the opportunity to truly serve our audience. So not only putting the feedback option out there, like we're ready, but being willing to receive it back and take it in and go, okay, now let me really assess this. Is this constructive to me? Is this relevant to me? Is there something I can do to change? If I am a scream talker, should I just dial down? Is it something out of my control? And then really assess from there, how can I now implement that feedback? Not just going to take it in and go, yeah, good ideas. Now I want to do something about it. Because maybe if one person feels that way, 10 more people feel that way. So if I have, again, it's the opportunity to open yourself up. As a leader, we always want to grow because those are the leaders that we want to follow are the ones that are evolving, the ones that are willing to do the work, that are willing to recognize their mistakes and want to grow from it. That's who I want to be behind, not the person that stands there at the top of their castle like, I'm good, I'm perfect, it's my way or the highway. It's like, oh, this is like, not for me. Now I'm in a dictatorship and you're not the leader I want to be a part of. Like, I don't want to be in this movement. Mm-hmm. So that's why feedback is just so relevant to your business and growing yourself. But again, it depends on where those sources are coming from.
Yeah, absolutely. And like Ellie said, it doesn't always feel good. Like, even if you're a practiced person about taking in feedback, they can say the smallest thing and it can be easy to kind of take it personal because if it's a reflection of you, it's like, oh, I screwed up. And it's like, no, if they were willing to give that feedback, then they want to help you grow and take it as an opportunity to do such. So just try to detach, take a couple of deep breaths, and again, ask those questions that Ali was just talking about because it really is so important and can help you take it to the next level. But if you take it too personally, then it's going to stagnate you and not allow you to grow from that opportunity. The cool thing with Typeform I wanted to mention is that you can embed it within your courses. So like for ours, it's right at the end of the course. So it's right away, it prompts them to do it. Or when we used to have a Facebook group for our course, we just put in the link and then there it was. And you can reward people for doing a survey. Maybe you can give them some, prize. Maybe you don't have a course and you just have a group and you want to say like, hey, what do you guys want to see more of? You could do a survey like that. You could even just put in multiple choice, sort of like the poll option in Facebook. You can ask for written responses. We'll often do that in our group, is just asking people things, right? What are you struggling with? And like, how can we help you? How can we be better? Whatever it may be, it's really important to change up the different ways in which you're asking for feedback because maybe someone isn't comfortable doing a survey or doesn't want to have to take the time, but maybe they'll do a quick poll, like one mark, like doink, there it is. That's my feedback, right? Which is really important. Both Ali and I have successful marketing teams and we're always asking them questions, asking how we can be better. And sometimes it's just like simple in the chat, let us know what you guys want to be working on, how we can help you. Getting that feedback is so important so that you guys can all grow together. Another important thing is talking to the people in your life about how they want to receive feedback and how you receive feedback best. Ali knows that I'm more like sensitive. So if she has to give me feedback, she has to do it in a way that's assertive, but still very attuned to my emotions. Whereas with Ali likes it more direct and she wants it right away so that she can address it. And really, we should all be doing that. Should be right away in the moment so it doesn't fester and make you feel uncomfortable. So as a leader, you're going to need to give feedback as well to the people in your life, to the teams that you work with. So not only are you receiving feedback and asking for it regularly, don't just expect people to come to you. You need to give them permission that it's okay, that you're willing to receive it. Show them examples of how you're implementing, that they're important, that their words mean something to you. Right? We changed a whole bunch of stuff within our last course. Within this new course, we're already making some adjustments because we care about the feedback. And so that means more people are going to be apt to give us good and bad feedback. Well, not bad, but a critical feedback that can make or break our business. And that's super important to us. And so that's the same case, the people that you work with in your life or that you care about. Have a conversation with them. Maybe it's with your partner and you say, I just watched this video about feedback and it got me thinking, as a relationship, it would be great to kind of understand how you best like feedback. Do you want me to text it to you? Do you want us to set up like a monthly date and kind of go for dinner and talk about how our relationship has been going and how we can improve and what things maybe could be better, what things have been going great? Because with feedback, it's always really smart if you're giving feedback to have like 2 compliments and then something that someone can work on. So like, Allie, you've been doing this right. You've been doing that. It makes me feel amazing when you're like this. One thing I think that you could work on is X, Y, and Z, right? So they've already kind of been buttered up and they feel good about it. And then you can kind of lay into them a bit about what they can work on and do it in a way that's supportive, because you want to maintain that relationship, because they may not know how to kind of detach like you will, and they may take things personally. So have that empathy and understanding for them. And yeah, just be open to having that conversation. And then, if it's with your partner, what can I do better? I really want to make our relationship as best, that we can make it. How do you think we're spending our time together? How do you feel like I am in this area or this or whatever? And you'd be surprised how much they would open up and how much your relationship can evolve, because so much of like failed relationships, failed businesses, failed friendships, it's a lack of communication. They don't feel comfortable to say something, or they let it burst out because they've gotten so mad and let it pent up that they could have just been assertive and in the moment just said what was bothering them, or if you waited for the little 1 month kind of check-in or whatever you want to do, that allows the space to do it in a calm environment where it's expected and you feel good about it, and you can really grow from that, because that's what we want to see you guys do, is have long-term success in all areas of your life. But if you're not willing to take in the feedback and give feedback, then you can't expect to truly rise to the level which we know that you can.
And another component too, in terms of feedback, is know your source. Know even where you're seeking and getting your feedback from. So say I am going to start a business. I'm brand new to the business space. I want to become self-employed. I'm super excited. I want to do this for me. I'm ready to grow. And I message Carly. Carly's in business. Carly works for herself. And Carly's like, oh my God, great idea. I love being self-employed. This makes such a difference for me. You're going to crush it. Like, here's some tips and recommendations on how I manage my time, how I've gotten started. Da, da, da. Good feedback. That's a good source to gain feedback from about an endeavor I want to go into. Then say I take it to my brother and I'm like, oh, hey, I want to start this business, and he works construction. That's all he's ever known, super blue collar, and be like, I guarantee that feedback coming back, be like, oh, that sounds like a scam. That's probably a bunch of BS. Now you're going to have to be selling all your products online, and like, why would you want to do that? You're probably going to waste a ton of money, and like, that just sounds so stupid, Al. Like, I just think that's like the worst idea. So those are 2 very different forms of feedback from 2 people who have 2 very different perspectives. So it'd be like, I want to buy a house. You know who I should talk to? My hairdresser. She's the best. You know what? She's the master of this. I bet she'd have such great opinions and insight about this. And I should talk to my hairdresser about buying a house. I bet she knows the market. I mean, she owns a house, so she probably knows about buying houses. Go to people for feedback that actually are in the area that you're seeking feedback from. More often than not, wives turn to their husbands for feedback. And their husband is giving them feedback from his place of history, past, what he knows, his experiences, and then they'll put that on you. And it's like, wow, I'm all for like some feedback, but this is like totally thrown me off skew. So had I gone to Carly, I'd be like, I feel so excited to start my business. Had I gone to my brother, I would feel dream squashed, and then maybe start second guessing myself and going, you know what, maybe I shouldn't start that business. And it probably is dumb, and like everyone's going to think I'm so stupid, and like, never mind then. Then I just allowed someone else's feedback to squash my dreams. There has to be a bit of a filter, and you have to know, who am I screening in terms of where that feedback is coming in from? When we get feedback from our students, That is 100% direct feedback. They've taken a course, they bought from us, we want that feedback. Someone that's never taken our course, that knows nothing about us, that wants to come in and say, you guys would do better if you did this, if you did that, it'd be like, my screen would start to come up a little bit more to be like, well, you don't know us, you don't know our contact, you've never taken our courses. Is this feedback really as constructive as the person that does know us, has taken our courses and been to our events, etc.? Two different kinds of feedback coming through. Look at the filter. So have a different lens coming when you are seeking feedback from people, because we ask for feedback all the time. I'm going to start a new diet. What do you think? I'm going to go to the gym. What do you think? How often do we ask our friends and family, what do they think? As though we're asking for permission, which more often than not, we do that. But we always need that sort of like external validation. So just be wary when you are asking for feedback. Be mindful of where it's coming from, because they might have a completely different lens and filter and look on things than you do. And that perspective can then shift the way that you take charge of your life, because feedback is important, but there has to be some parameters for how it's given and how it's received.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it, guys. Well, I hope that wraps up your Wednesday little go live for today. We wanted to, just talk about something that for us, it's a regular occurrence. It's not something that we're nervous about anymore because we've implemented it. Was it nerve-wracking in the beginning? Were we afraid to get the very first review of our course when we set it out, back in the fall? Oh, of course we were. We were like, oh, Lord. But then it was so great to get some of the good feedback and then some of the areas in which we could improve. Like, that's what it's all about.
We even asked for feedback at our Ignite event, at our live event on the very last day. And we incentivized it because we wanted people to take the time to fill it out. We had a big prize basket. But even for Carly and I, at the end of the event, when we came home on Sunday and we got to put on our PJs and look through, 40 different forms from all these women of like, and asking them compelling questions of like this and that and the value and, what day was your favorite and what was the highlight and what could be improved? What could be improved? Mm-hmm. And you bet that, but all those things we would have been implementing this year had we been having an event this year. Yeah. We will next year in 2021 when we have Ignite back on. But we're taking all of that feedback, and that's our opportunity to grow, to learn, to level up. Like, that's a gift. Yeah. So when you can reframe your thinking about feedback to look at it like a really good, positive thing, that's what we want. We want to grow. I don't want to be stagnant in any element of my life. So if there's an opportunity for you to grow and level up, feedback is the way.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you can even, I just had a thought about, even with our kids, my oldest is 4 and he's just now starting to be able to really put ideas together and verbalize things. And, I could even ask him for feedback, and what do you like most about our days that we spend together? What don't you like to do? Like those kinds of things. We can start getting this type of feedback right away from our children and from people in your life that you probably didn't realize, or your friends. Have you ever asked them, how they like to be in a friendship? Do they actually like being bombarded by text messages or memes or different things in their life? Like maybe that's them, right? But maybe just asking them, you'd be surprised at what you can find out and how you can nourish your relationships even more. So yes, in a business sense, as a leader, this is a key concept. But just in general, if you're just a gal watching and you want to improve different areas of your life, different relationships, ask some questions, have a sit down with some people in your life that you care about and give and receive feedback, because it can be pretty mind-blowing what they come up with. And even what our little kids can come up with that you wouldn't even realize that they even understand, but they know, right? So don't be afraid to ask them.
Love it. Now we are going to go do some filming because we took feedback from our new course. This is like literally us implementing right away. It was anonymous. We don't know we know who signs up for our course. We have that, but we don't know who fills in our surveys. And from that, there was feedback that Carly and I could implement. We're like, oh, we can add in a bonus module. Yeah. Then everyone that's bought our course also now gets to benefit from that one person's feedback. Mm-hmm. Saying they wish there was just this one little bit. We're like, we can do that. Let's add in a bonus module. That's amazing. We have that ability. We can add into our platform. Now every single other person that bought that course also gets that bonus because you have lifetime access.
Yeah.
That's taking in feedback, recognizing it, filtering through. pulling out what you need to, and then implementing and doing something about it, because that's how much we value it. So we're going to go put it into action right now.
Yeah, and it also validated what we've already done so far, and that they were just loving it and getting so much out of it. And it's like, yes, okay, we are on the right track. Feedback is a course correction, or it can help you know, like, I'm on the right path. I'm doing this right. Like, this is so good. Like, I'm a great mom, or I'm a great coworker, or I'm creating an amazing course, or maybe there's something I need to just tweak a little bit to get back on that path. And so feedback is so, so powerful. So we are going to go do that right now. And please let us know if there's something that you're like, man, I wish those girls knew this. Or if you do think we're screamers, because really, we do talk loud, especially when you watch my stories. I'm like, hey guys, I'm like, oh, be quiet, turn down the volume. Just watch me on a lower volume setting, okay? But if there's any feedback that you guys have for us, we are all ears. There's never something that we're going to be like, oh, you're deleted because of this. You know, just message us and let us know. Or if you have an idea, feedback, something cool that we could do, or something, whatever. It doesn't matter. We want to hear it. And yeah, we just appreciate you guys.
Love it. Okay, bye guys.
Bye.